off. Nobody can activate the microphone, right? So once again, thank you and good morning. I really want to say thank you to thank you Estudiar en el Extranjero and thank you Full Sail University for giving us the chance to to interact with you and to live this experience. I know the information and everything that we are about to live and for next hour is going to be very meaningful, very useful, inspiring, and I'm sure that everybody here in this Zoom and everybody watching us on YouTube is really going to be interested because let me tell you that what is going to happen here is going to be amazing. So thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Andrea, for accepting the invitation. A pleasure. And let's start, Andrea. Good morning.
Okay, perfect. Good morning, everyone. I'm Andrea from Estudiar, so I'm really happy to be here with you guys. The idea today is just sharing with you this space. So we have Sandra Lizama from Full Sail University. Full Sail is one of the most important universities, and they are offering programs that are created for the world of entertainment, media, arts, and technology. And also, we really want to share with you this space because I know many students want to study something related to those kind of of areas. So Sandra is gonna tell us more, and also we invite you to ask any question you have. The idea is that you can participate with us, and also you can use the chat box. So through the chat box, you can leave any questions you have. And remember, at the end of the of this space, we are gonna leave a short survey. So it's gonna be great if you can answer. And also you will have the opportunity to win an online course with Estudiar. So thank you so much for the invitation. And Sandra, you can start, of course. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's having a great week. I'm so excited to be here. And your teacher also told me you just had a great workshop with Alejandro. And I hope that you guys enjoy today's workshop that I will be doing with you. It's a little more interactive. So we are going to be using a website today. So just as a heads up, okay? I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen with you all. So that way we can go ahead and dive into the presentation. Let's see. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions, you can ask your questions in the chat box. I'm making sure my chat box is open so I can make sure I get all of your questions. So Full Sail University, we are actually in Winter Park, Florida, which is right outside of the city of Orlando. We are about 30 minutes away from the international airport, 40 to 45 minutes away from Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, all those fun places. And as Andrea mentioned, we are very focused on entertainment, media, arts, technology industries. So here you're actually going to see a little bit of our facilities. All of the facilities are pretty much custom designed to get you in that work environment, whether it's game design, film, animation, software development, music business, sports marketing. Every laboratory that you would be using on campus is pretty much to get you prepared for the environment. We're very focused on hands-on education. So as you're seeing the students, you're going to be working on a lot of projects. So that way you can develop your professional experience. You know that professional experience is very important when you start looking for employment after you graduate. And you become, a well-rounded professional in your industry. You're not just going to specialize in one aspect of your industry. You're going to learn various parts and skills throughout your field. So you're actually going to see these are all of our departments. These are our areas of study. each one of them offering their number of degrees. So we got music and recording, which includes like music production, recording arts. We got games. So if any of you gamers are interested in game design or game art or game development, which is more the programming aspect of video games, we have that for you. Art and design, we have computer animation, graphic design, film, we got film production, technology. Our newest program for technology is our simulation and visualization program. So very focused on AR and VR. Then we got media and communications, business, sports. Like I mentioned, sports is more focused on like sports marketing and media. So if you want to be that person behind the scenes working with athletes and athletic brands, we may have a program for you. But today we were asked to present to you all our music creation workshop. So if we have any musicians who want to learn about taking the next step of music, you know, more of the technical aspect, we're going to learn very basic fundamental things today. And pretty much what it's going to be, we're going to have a mixing challenge. So I hope that you guys are able to guess who the artist is as we start putting all of the tracks together. And I'm going to explain a little bit more in a little bit. But we're going to be putting tracks together on this workshop that we're doing. And you guys are going to be doing it step by step with me. And hopefully, as we develop and put together all these tracks, you guys will be able to figure out who the artist is and what song it is that we're putting together. I will give you a clue though. It's an American artist. He's a singer, songwriter. So keep that in mind. Oh, and I said he, so it's a male. All right. So the main objective is that we're going to learn about the basics of working with DAW. We're going to learn about, you know, working with both loops and MIDI files. So, and we're also going to learn about adding effects and stylizing music. So before we even dive into that, does anybody know what DAW is? I'm going to be looking at your answers in the chat box if you want to see. If you don't know, you can just put no, or you can put yes. I don't see anyone responding. So if you don't know what DAW is pretty much a digital audio workstation. So if you have a MacBook Pro, you probably got GarageBand on your computer. That's a DAW. That's pretty much the audio workstation, a digital audio workstation. If you got like Logic Pro Tools or Fruity Loops, those are all software that are considered DAW. That's what you use to put together tracks, to make your own music, to make your own beats even. Does anybody know what a MIDI file is? Maybe not. I do see we're taking roll in the chat box. So if you don't know what MIDI is, what a MIDI file is a MIDI file is a musical instrument digital interface, and it's pretty much going to be a pattern without a melody attached to it. And you're actually going to see it in a bit. We're going to look at it live. You're going to see what a MIDI file looks like compared to an audio file. And then we're going to be, like I said, we're going to add effects and stylize the song. One of the other lingos I would recommend you getting familiar with if you know about music or you want to go into music is BPM, okay? BPM is beats per measure or beats per minute. But we're going to dive into that in a bit. What I want us to do, we're going to be using ampedstudio.com. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to share the link with you all in the chat box. Let me exit out of here so I can share the link with you all. You are going to have to open an account. Okay, and it's very easy. If you have a Google, a Gmail account, you can just put like link it with your Gmail account. So ampedstudio.com. This is yours, and this is what it's going to pretty much look like. I'm going to share my screen. Let me go on there so I can show you all what it looks like. So this is Amp Studio. I'm already logged in, but you're going to see the option to open an account. So I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. I'm going to give you guys like 2 minutes to create your account. And once you have done that account, just put done, or yeah, just put done in the chat box. That way I can move forward and share some files with you. That way we can move into the studio part and start putting together some tracks, and that way start listening to the music that we're putting together. So ampstudio.com, just follow the link that I just shared. I'm going to share it again just in case it got lost in the chat. And once you have, like I said, created your account, let me know. I do recommend you to use Google Chrome or Mozilla Fox. I don't recommend Explorer or Safari. It's going to move a lot slower. You're not going to be able to like edit very easily through those platforms. So I recommend you using Google Chrome. That's what I'm currently using. So go ahead and let me know when you're complete. I'm going to give you 2 minutes.
Yes, just a quick reminder to everyone. Remember, this will be a very practical workshop, very useful. We have already an answer of someone who said it's done. Ricardo Martinez, thank you.
Ricardo.
Yes, the idea is that everyone's get to amstudio.com and create an account. I'm doing it myself as well. It's very easy. Just have access to your mail to confirm the account, and we'll start away. So we'll give a little more time to the others to connect, but please engage with this activity, which is very, very interesting, and let us know if you have any questions about it that we can help you about.
Yeah, thank you, Carlos. Yeah, it is engaging. It's very practical, so you are going to be having to follow along. But like I mentioned, if you're someone who does want to go into music, whether you're a vocalist or a musician, maybe this is a platform that's going to be easy for you to use. Now, something that makes Amp Studio a little special to the other DAW platforms that I mentioned, like Logic Pro and GarageBand, is that Amp Studio is fully online. It's a complete online software. It is free unless you want to go premium. Then the premium package has an additional cost. But it's fully online. Other DAW platforms, you have to download the full software onto your computer. It's going to be taking a lot of memory from your computer. So this is a great thing with Amp Studio, is that it's completely online. You can save your stuff, completely publish it. So if anybody, let me know if you have opened your account. And while y'all are doing that, we're going to explore. Whoever, Ricardo's already ready to go, so he can follow along. And you pretty much, this is where we're going to spend time today in the studio, but let's look at the other tabs. So that way you can see, you can explore other people's tracks. People do publish their own tracks on here, and it's really interesting to hear the variety of tracks that there is. Awesome, Valentina is ready to go. Then you can shop. So when it comes to shopping, you can shop samples, loops, different types of like sound effects to put into your track that you're creating. As you can see though, each one does have a fee if you want to purchase bundles, that kind of thing. The pricing is, if you do want to go premium, learning, they have a bunch of tutorials. So this is something that I do like about Amp Studio, is I'm teaching you the very basic stuff today, but let's say you want to take it to the next level, guys, check out the tutorials. This is a great time to learn about how to use these things. You never know where that skill set can take you. And then there's the blog part. So, a lot of people who do use this platform, they'll create their own blogs. Amp has their own blogs as well. I'm going to go back to the home page. All right, so I'm going to move forward since we have a few people that said they're done, and I don't want to lose an hour because it's going to take a little bit of time. So let's jump into Studio. This is what the platform is going to look like. Okay, and as you can see, I'm going to give you a little tour of this platform. So here you got the usual, play, record, we got loop. So when you're working on a track, you may want to focus on something. You see, this is going to be the loop. you know, wherever you place this is where the loop is going to be. And a lot of producers or engineers will use a loop when they're really trying to focus on a specific sound. Here's where you're pretty much, this is your track hub. This is where like the home of all the tracks that we're going to be adding on here. Right here, this is actually another term used in the music industry. People refer to it as a hamburger because they say it looks like two buns and a patty in the middle. And you're going to see, you know, import audio file, import MIDI file. This is what we're going to be using today, tutorials, settings. You can change all of that. Then we got the sound library, so you can definitely add more effects if you want to. Some of these are free, a lot of them are, but like I said, if you want, you know, premium stuff, then you're gonna have to pay for it. And then, you know, we got the arrow, we got the time. So, I mean, it's pretty much, if you look at, you know, a music player, it's pretty easy to figure out what everything means. So now that we're here, we're gonna need to upload some tracks. So you're like, what tracks am I gonna upload? So I'm gonna send you a link to a Dropbox, all right? This link, you are going to download the files on this. So I'm gonna do this with you too, so that way you can see where it's gonna take you. Let me copy. Let me do it on here. So you're gonna see these files, it's 5 in total. So download all of them. You're gonna notice there's one that says MIDI, there's others that are WAV. So download all of them. This is the tracks that we're gonna be using for our workshop and what we're gonna be putting together. And hopefully as we put each track onto this studio, you will be able to figure out who this artist is. It's a very popular song. So I'm let me know once you've downloaded them, put done in the chat box. I'm going to give you guys another minute. Awesome. Daniel is ready to go.
Sandra, I'm going to give a quick announcement here. To everyone participating, the project that Sandra thinks is the best one for this exercise will win a prize at the end of this talk. So please, everybody, do your best. I'm doing it all to myself, but you will earn a prize at the end of this talk for the best track or the best project. So please do it consciously because of the price.
Yes, that's awesome, and thank you, Carlos, for that information. So you see, students, everybody here, go and download very quickly the files that Sandra has shared with us on the Dropbox link. Everybody do it. We're going to be paying attention to all the students who sent their projects. And Sandra is going to pick a winner, and you know now you know that there's a prize for you. So try to engage. Remember, at the end you have to send this. So it's very important that you listen, you follow instructions, but the most important thing is engage and interact with our guests. Okay, so please let's
Andres. Yeah, the prize will be a scholarship for an English course of 4 weeks.
Wow, that's awesome.
Not with full sale, but we are going to give it as a estudiar, okay?
Okay, but it's an English course free for 4 weeks. So guys,
4 weeks online, yes.
Awesome. Okay, so I think there's no time to waste. Everybody, go very quick, download the files, follow Sandra's instructions, and at the end, send your project. Okay, back to Sandra.
Thank you so much. Wow. See, not everybody gets prizes. You guys are going to get prizes. And once again, I'll drop the link in the chat box because I know a lot of people are sending their names in to be registered for their class. So in case you missed it, and like I said, once you have it downloaded, just put done in the chat box so that way we can dive in. I'll give you a couple more seconds because it'll download fast. They're not heavy files. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and move forward. If you got your files, follow along. And also, like they mentioned, it is recorded. So if you wanna go back and follow along whatever step that you miss, you're gonna be able to do that as well. So you got your files, make sure you know where they download it because we're gonna be uploading them onto this platform. So let's go ahead. We're going to start with track number 1. Like I mentioned, this is going to be your home for all the tracks that you just downloaded from Dropbox. Okay, and we're going to start with track number 1, which is going to be the piano MIDI file. Okay, do you guys remember what I said the MIDI file meant? MIDI file means oh Lord, I forgot. Just trying to find my here. Okay, so MIDI file is your musical instrument digital interface. So like I mentioned, it's more of a pattern. It's not going to be a melody, it's a pattern, and you're going to see it. So you can either go right here by the hamburger and click import MIDI file, and it should take you to your MIDI file so you can be able to download it. So, and you'll see it's only going to give you the option to open the MIDI file. So you're going to click piano and okay, open. And you see it opens, it did this automatically, but you can drag this, you can drag the piano. So we're going to make sure we drag the piano up. And we got to label this because if you do want to be a producer one day, put piano, enter, make sure you press enter when you put the name in. You're going to have to. I have a question. Esteban? Oh, okay. All right. So make sure it's labeled. If you're using a laptop or MacBook Pro, you can hover the mouse over this section and click zoom, like pinch your fingers. Pinch your fingers, and now you're going to see the pattern that I mentioned to you. It's a pattern. Let's listen to it. Let's listen to what it sounds like. It's not a melody. It's just going to be, you know, a sound over this pattern. Right, so that's what it sounds like right now. And one important thing, because this is a little more fast-paced than a 120 BPM, we're gonna change that to 150, okay? Make sure that you do that. That makes a huge difference when you're making this music, right? When you're putting in your tracks together. The last time I did this workshop, for some reason, I forgot to put 150 at the beginning. It was still at 120, and we got towards the end of the workshop then. I was like, this is not sounding the way that's supposed to sound. And it was because of this. It was sounding really, really slow when it wasn't supposed to sound so slow. All right, so you have your piano MIDI file right here. That's the first track. So now we're gonna come down here. You're gonna notice that there's a device chain, and we're gonna highlight this box, okay? Until it's, you know, you get that white outline. When you get that white outline, you know it's highlighted, and you're gonna press delete, okay? You're gonna press delete, and then we're gonna click add device, and under instruments, you're gonna see GM player. And you're gonna notice that it's gonna generate. It's gonna generate on its own. You don't have to do anything, and it's gonna automatically go into acoustic piano, okay? So that's what it's gonna look like for you. let's see, it's taking time. It really depends on how fast your internet is. Right, so you see it's an acoustic piano. So it has the effect that it needs to have, and we're gonna add another device. But this time we're gonna go under effects, and we're gonna look for reverb, right? So we're gonna click reverb. And this is what we're gonna use. Now reverb, you're like, what is reverb? So reverb, think about being in a train station and shouting in the train station, and you know, your voice booms in that station. And that's pretty much what the reverb effect's supposed to do to that sound. So let's see what it sounds like right now. It may not be a huge difference, but once they all come together, it's gonna do it's gonna work its magic. You notice the difference? So it already sounds a lot different than when we first heard the original state of this track. So let's continue. We're gonna go on to track number 2, and this time we're gonna use the cello. All right, so you can once again go to hamburger, you can put import MIDI, or you can also just drag it. I'm gonna drag it right now. Oh, for some reason it's not. Here you go. Right, so here appears, you see it kind of, it's halfway through the platform, so I'm gonna drag it all the way, make sure it's aligned. All right, and what we can do, I'm gonna press S right here, because, oh, make sure you label. I always have to remind myself, and I have to remind you to label them, because imagine you're a producer and you're putting together a song, you're gonna have like 100 of these tracks. So you don't wanna lose track of what each track is, okay? So cello, make sure you got it. Someone said, how can you place the piano? So that was the first track. So you would do the same thing we just did with the cello. You're gonna put import MIDI and make sure that when it comes up, you're gonna put it here first. You're gonna bring it all the way down. So the same way that we just did cello, you're gonna have to do the piano. So cello, we're on cello right now. Let's listen to it. Like I said, when we press S, S is it means solo, on or off. So when it's green, you know that solo is on. So when I press play, I'm not gonna hear the piano anymore. I'm just gonna hear the cello. So let's hear what it sounds like right now. Right, so once again, we have, you know, just a pattern with the sound over it. Okay. So let's go again. We're gonna repeat what we did earlier. We're gonna highlight this device chain at the bottom. Sometimes it's a little hard to get it highlighted, but there we go. Once it has a white outline, you know it's highlighted, and we're gonna click delete. And we're gonna click add new device. We're gonna click on instruments and click GM player. And you see it's automatically on acoustic piano, so we're gonna change that. And we're gonna look for cello. Okay, so you're gonna get all these different instruments coming up. So you have a lot of options when you decide to create your own stuff. So let's go down, let's look for cello. We gotta make sure it's gonna have a cello effect. Here it is. All right, now that we have cello, we're gonna go ahead and repeat the next action, which is we're gonna add an effect. And once again, reverb. You'll see the reverb box comes up. Now let's listen to this again. Let's see what it's sounding like. Right, so it's sounding different. We're starting to get some melody into it. Let's see what it sounds together. Right, so we're making improvement. Does anybody have an idea what this song is? Probably not. Usually students figure it out more towards the end once the vocals have been laid out or the last track has been laid out. But let's move on. We're gonna do the third track. We're doing 7 tracks in total, even though you guys only got 5. So we're gonna make a third track. And we're actually gonna reuse the cello. So get that cello again. We're gonna give it a double purpose. So import MIDI file, and we got the cello. So click on your cello. I don't know why it does this, but you can drag it up. You can drag it up and see. Someone says you have to download the instrument that one wants. Yes, you have to have these files downloaded. When I first sent the Dropbox link, that's where all of the these MIDI files that we're uploading, that's where all of them, that's why you had to download it. So once you have it downloaded, you're going to be able to import it onto this platform. So right, so we're on the third track, and this is going to be our guitar. Track number 3, the cello. We're gonna convert this into more of a guitar effect. So make sure you label it, so that way you know which one is which, because you're gonna notice here says cello, here says cello, and it's gonna sound exactly the same. So like I said, we're gonna repeat the action, and we're gonna add an additional step to this. So this one, actually the MIDI, the device chain is not showing up, so that's good. We're gonna click add device. Once again, we're gonna go under instruments and GM player. All right, and like I said, the thing is gonna say acoustic piano, but we're gonna change that. And we're gonna look for overdrive guitar. So you're gonna have to scroll down. Here it is, under guitar mutes, then you got overdrive guitar. That's what we're gonna use. You can't paste it, you can drag it. I mean, you have to download the file. You have to download these files. Sorry, someone's asking a question. You have to download the file in order to upload it. So you're not gonna be able to like copy and paste. And the only way that you could do it is, like I said, import MIDI file, and then you're gonna be able to put it in. All right, so guitar, we're on guitar. We added our GM player, and you just put overdrive guitar. And now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add our reverb effects. So we're gonna effects, reverb, and we're gonna do something extra here. So now you're seeing that there's a reverb, but you've also noticed that there is a bright hall. So let's click on bright hall, and we're gonna click Colossus. So that reverb that I said is like a loud effect. We're gonna add Colossus because it's gonna make it like a mega echo. Think about Aerosmith when you're listening to like the guitar solos and how the guitar sounds and echoes. That's pretty much what this effect is gonna give it. So we got the Colossus. Let me click X. Okay, then we're gonna click again. We're gonna add another device once again. It is going to be, this time we're gonna click delay. So like I said, when you're thinking about like an Aerosmith guitar solo and you're hearing that guitar prolonged, you know, that's what this delay is gonna do. It's gonna give it like that extended effect to the echo. So let's listen to what it's sounding like right now, because remember, it was originally the cello, so we heard that before in its original state, and now we can listen to it as a guitar and with the echo, Colossus, and all of that. You see, so it sounds way different. It does sound like an electric guitar. And let's see what they're all sounding like together now. Right, so we're making progress. Does anybody know what this song is yet? Maybe this, I mean, maybe you'll catch the intro because this is the intro of the song, but we're gonna move forward to track number.
If you know the name of the song, send it, I think to the chat, right?
Yeah, through the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, soon if you're the first one to figure out, I think you deserve the prize, because like I said, it's really, they don't figure it out once we get till like probably the 5th or 6th track. So we're gonna do track number 4 now, guys. And this time we're gonna be using the audio files that we sent. We're gonna start off with the bass. So once again, this time instead of clicking MIDI file, you're gonna click audio file. And you see, I'm only gonna be able to download or add the WAV files. You see that the MIDI is no longer available to add on. So this time we're gonna do bass. We're gonna do, gonna add the bass, gonna bring it on here. And we're not going to really do much to the bass besides we're going to alter the volume. But listen to it in its original state. Once again, don't forget to label your track. And let's see what it sounds like.
I know the song. I know the song.
Do you know the song?
I think so, but I won't tell. I won't tell, but I know it. I know it. I put it in your chat, but I know it.
Now I see it. Now I see it. No, that's not the song actually.
No, it sounds like.
It's not. But we'll hear the vocals in a bit. I'll be adding the vocals at the end. So, but let's listen to the bass. Let's see what the bass sounds like. So we got the bass right here. And you notice this is a difference. So a MIDI file, it's always going to look like it has a pattern. And this is an audio file. So that's why you see the difference in the studio. Right, so that's what it sounds like. The bass, I mean, that's all it's got to do. This bass already been mixed and mastered. So there's nothing that we got to do to it besides delete the device chain at the bottom. We're going to delete the device chain at the bottom, and we're just going to lower the volume of the bass. Now that is up to you if you want to do it. I know some people really like the bass, but sometimes the bass can kind of overlap the rest of the melody. So it doesn't have to be exactly negative 11, but try to get it as close as possible. And we're going to leave it like that. That's all we got to do. It gets a lot easier now because we're working with audio files and not MIDI files. Okay. So next, we're going to do the drums. You know, you got to have some drums to give, you know, give this some rhythm. I dragged my drums, but if you want to continue going through the hamburger and adding your drums, you're welcome to do so. And this is what it's going to look like. Let me make sure I label drums, and let's listen to it by itself. We can drag this little thing here and see what it sounds like. Right, so it's just drums. And like I said, you can compare these files to the MIDI files. The MIDI file was just a sound and a pattern before we added all the effects. The drums and the bass, they actually have somewhat of a melody, okay? Now, what we're gonna do with our drums, if the device chain comes up, delete it. It shouldn't, but if it does, just delete it. And that's all we're gonna do. We're gonna keep the drums just how it is. And we're gonna add another track. This track is gonna be called the riser. So does anybody know what a riser is? And make sure we can go ahead and add it, and you're gonna see it's a much smaller file than the rest. Somebody said they have the rhythm of the music, but they have a question on how to save it. So once you're ready to save, let's say you've completed your thing, you're gonna be able to do that through here. You're gonna be able to export file, you're gonna be able to share or publish your song. So that's where our save here, so that way it's saved to your account if you need to continue editing. But let's say you're done, and you're ready to publish, you wanna save it, like export it, then this is where you're gonna do it. All right, so if anybody doesn't know what a riser is, I'm sure everybody probably listens to EDM or some type of electronic music. So pretty much what a riser is when the song, let's say the beat's about to drop and you get that kind of sound effect, you know the beat's gonna drop when you hear that sound. That's what the riser is. The riser is gonna help bring that transition within the melody itself. So let's listen to the riser by itself. Heads up, it's gonna be a little loud. The riser is pretty loud, so that's why we're gonna go in afterwards and edit it a little bit. Well, this is what it sounds like. Oops, my bad. I didn't put the, let's go here. Okay. Right, so that's the riser, that's what it sounds like. Like I said, it is a little loud. So let's go ahead. The device chain is not gonna appear. If it does appear, just delete it, highlight and delete, okay? So let's lower the volume. We're gonna lower it down to a -8, right? because what you don't want to happen when you're making these tracks or this music is that this riser, I mean, you don't want the riser to like write out everything else and then you can't hear the rest of the music. So we got the riser there, and we're gonna, it's actually in place. Let's see. I think it's sounding in place because I wanted to do it around, right, here's a good spot. So what I'm looking for when I want to position the riser, what I'm looking for is to align the peak with right here, what we're looking at the bass and drums. You see that connection. So I'm gonna just shift it over a little bit, just as close as I possibly can. Actually, I think I'm just gonna do it that way. Let's keep it like that. And let's listen to what this is sounding like right now. We got the drums, we got the bass, guitar, we got the riser. Let's see what this is sounding like right now. All right, so I think that's sounding in good position. Does anybody know the song yet? If you don't, that's okay. We're gonna, I think by the next track, you're gonna know which one it is. But we're actually, let's duplicate this riser. We're gonna need to add it somewhere else. So let's duplicate this riser. Now the way that if you're on a Mac, the way to do it, you're gonna make sure the riser is highlighted. You're gonna click Option and you're gonna drag. Automatically gonna duplicate it for you. Now, if you're on a regular computer, I think some of my past students told me it was Alt. It may be Alt or Shift. So test one of those two out, and it's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna automatically duplicate, and it's gonna come up. So let me delete it so you can see. Right now, I'm clicking Option, and I'm just dragging with my mouse, and it's duplicated. Okay, so let's position this one as well. I'm gonna click this right here where I have this little, you notice this little drop in the bass, and there's a peak within the drums. We're gonna bring it here. It's around 35 and a half. And once again, align peak to peak as best as you possibly can. So let's see how that transition sounds. I'm gonna play it from here, see what it's sounding like. All right, this is sounding good. This is sounding really good. Now let's see. I know that I told you guys. I want y'all to hear the difference and how important BPM is. So I'm gonna change this to 120, the original state, so you can see what the difference was. You'll see. I mean, you saw the transition just changed, right? And you're gonna see it's not gonna sound as good. So it's like the tracks won't align as easily, you know. So let's go back to 150, keep it the way it was. All right, and then I'm gonna do the last track. You guys can just look at it because it is the vocals. So I wasn't able to send the vocals to you all just because of copyrights. So we're gonna add the vocals. I'm sure somebody's gonna know it now. Oops. Sure, I got my vocals right here. I'm gonna make it, put it all the way down. Vocals are looking good. All right, let's see. Let me delete this track number 8. We got the vocals there. All right, so I'm gonna play it now. Let's listen to this. Somebody gotta know this song. because y'all are youngins and he's your generation's music. All right, so let's play it. Let's see what it sounds like. We got the vocals on. Let's hear what this sounds like.
She told me that I'm not enough, and she left me with a broken heart. She fooled me twice and it's all my fault. She cut too deep that she left me scarred. There's so many thoughts going through my brain, and now I'm taking these shots like it's Novocaine. Yeah. Ooh, I fall apart. Down to my core. Ooh, I fall apart. Down to my core.
All right, well, we could listen to it all, but it's going to go on, I think, for a couple minutes. So does anybody know who this is? I'm going to give you a clue. He's a rapper, singer-songwriter. I think I hear someone. Or maybe they accidentally. Hey, Abraham, you can mute your microphone. Thank you. All right, so I gave you a couple clues, Tomas. I gave you, he's an American singer-songwriter. It is a guy, he's in the rap, trap industry, so that is what his music is known for. Has a lot of tattoos.
Yeah.
I mean, I give you another clue. It's gonna be, he's Caucasian, so maybe that will narrow it down. If he's a trap artist, it'll narrow it down. He's a Caucasian. Background. Yes, Post Malone, finally. Post Malone, I Fall Apart. If you don't know this song, look it up. This is the song that we just put together with all of these tracks. Someone asked me earlier, what do you do once you put everything together and you want to save it? That's where you're going to move forward and click on export audio. You can publish your song. But that's pretty much the workshop, guys. I try to keep it as simple as possible, easy to understand, because it can get very confusing quite fast. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, or if anyone has any questions about this platform, this is your opportunity to ask. I do have some other platforms that I could recommend to you all if you want to continue exploring different avenues that would help you, develop more skills within, the music field. So there is like Audio Fusion. Audio Fusion's more of like it's also like a studio simulator, so you can also create music on there. This one was actually developed by one of our Full Sail graduates, so it's a link that I'm sharing with you in case you want to check it out. And then another one besides Amp Studio is splice.com. Splice.com is a great resource as well if you're into music production and you want to find like sound effects, loops, samples to add on to your music. That's where you're going to be able to do a lot of that stuff. So if anyone has any questions, this is your time. If not, I want to thank everybody for joining me and inviting me to spend this time with you. And I hope it was useful.
I said it was for sure. No, thank you for accepting the invitation. Thank you for sharing this moment and this workshop with us, sharing your knowledge, your experience. I'm very sure that students are going to, they're going to keep practicing. And I think the platform that you showed today, we will be practicing and trying to make our own tracks. Hopefully, we get to do something different that we can share with everybody. If you finish your project, students here with us and the ones who are watching us on YouTube, if you finish your project, when it's done, send it to us, share it with Sandra, with me, and we will be very glad and happy to hear it. So thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Full Sail University, Andrea, Carlos, and everybody who helped make this possible. It has been a pleasure.
Yes,
Yeah,
Thank
this was great.
you.
sorry, Sandra. I would also want to thank Beefy, Full Sail, Sandra. It was great. It was amazing. I love these kind of workshops. We learned a lot with Full Sail. I was also in one of stop motion with Full Sail, and it was amazing as well. But I think this was great. I did the song with all the effects and all, and it was very interesting. So, guys, if you like music, if you like technology, if you like design, if you want to succeed in the entertainment industry, Full Sail is the best option for you guys. I really, really recommend this option. And if you want to know more about the programs, more about the university, feel free to contact us, Estudiar. We'll be open to any questions. If you need counseling, we will help you for knowing the pensum, uh, all the things that can include the program. We will help you with that because this is the university that will make you grow faster and with a lot of success in this entertainment industry. So I extend the invitation to the parents, to the students to contact Estudiar, and we will show you the benefits that Full Sail University has to offer to all of you guys.
Thank you, Carlos. And everybody, remember before you leave this meeting, please click on the survey that Carlos has sent to the chat and complete it. Okay. So when you finish that, then I think we are set to go. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Um,
Andres,
yes, Carlos. Hi.
I just wanted to say thank you to all of to all of the students that participated in the talk, to Sandra and everyone. And I also wanted to invite you. We will have a fair, which it's one of the biggest fairs in Colombia. Full Sail will be in the fair. It will be held November the 18th, 19th, and 20th, all day long from 8 to 8. And we'll have talks like this. And we will have people from Full Sail, from other universities around the world, and English institutions or languages institutions where you can chat with the representatives. So I will send you the invitation, and perhaps we could organize or fix some schedules for your particular students that they can go only them that certain time and talk to the representatives. And I mean, we can fix and everything. I mean, to be organizing like a specific schedule for BIFFI students, and that will be awesome for them because they will have the opportunity to chat one on one with the representatives. Okay.
Of course, that's possible. We'll keep in touch and we'll arrange everything. Thank you,
Okay.
Carlos.
Okay. Bye
Okay, thank
bye.
you, students and teachers were with us in this meeting. Thank you, everybody watching us on YouTube. A pleasure, and we really hope that you enjoy this workshop and that you continue practicing and using this information and this knowledge that Sandra and her team has shared with us today. Thank you, everybody, and have a nice day.
Andres, if they send, please let me know which of the students sent the audio for the
Okay.
prize.
All
Okay.
right. So yes, I have an idea for this. So if you finish your project, remember there's a prize, a free English course for 4 weeks. Okay. So finish your project on the platform that Sandra showed us today, and you can send it when it's done. You can send it to my email. Okay. It's here. Uh, I'm sending it right now. Coordinador bilingüismo at de la Salle .edu.co, coordinador bilingüismo bs @delasalle.edu.co. O también pueden enviárselo al correo de Sandra y Carlos, si pueden por favor enviarlo aquí por el chat. También nos lo envían a los tres, nos copian a los tres y estaremos muy pendientes. ¿Listo, chicos? Okay, thank you everybody. Don't forget to do this, and the best project will win a very amazing and cool prize. That thanks to Estudiar in Full Sail, you will be receiving this benefit. Yes, you can send it to the three of us. Yes, Tomás, nos puedes enviar a los tres. Okay, bye bye everybody.